Today I have a real treat for you, a UK first review, and not one, but a pair of brand new air rifles that are out at the cutting edge of technology and design, including the FAC version that's going to blow your mind. Hello and welcome to AAR On Air. Today we have yet another double hitter for you and a bit of a UK first launch, because this is the all new Kalibrgun Snipe. And I have the sub 12 177 caliber version and the OMG nearly 70 foot-pound 22 caliber long FAC version. Yes, I said 2.2, not 2.5 and not 0.30, with that huge amount of power coming from just a 2.2 caliber. Now, before we get stuck in, it's worth mentioning that this will be at the Great British Shooting Show at the NEC on the 23rd to 25th of February 2024 and will be available to try on the range, because Vector Air, the UK importers of Kalibrgun and Epic, to name a few, will be at the show again and will also be on the shooting range for people to trial a sample of the latest airguns from their range. So, naturally, the best place to start is the Walkaround, and we can take a look at this all-new tactical style rifle from the superb airgun manufacturers Kalibrgun. Right from the start, it is evident this is not going to be a budget gun review, but maybe not as expensive as you may think, with the high quality materials and construction involved in the making of this snipe. But like I said, you may well be surprised at the price. This is the standard length sub 12 foot-pounds, that is, version, and it has an overall length of 930 millimeters, or around 36.5 inches long. Now that is with the extendable stock closed. If you have that fully extended, this will stretch out the length to around 995 millimeters, or 39.25 inches. Unscoped, it tips the scales at 3.37 kilograms, or 7 pounds 6 ounces. So, not overly heavy, but enough weight to appreciate the solidity of the build. There have been a multitude of materials used to maximise strength, balance and minimise weight. From the front, there is a shroud cum silencer that is screwed onto the CZ barrel. This is a proper working shroud stroke silencer and brings the rapport from the barrel down to an acceptable level. But not content with that, they have added a 1/2-inch UNF thread to the end of the shroud to add further sound suppression if you want. I dropped a QGS 8 onto this one and it was really quiet. Naturally, this will add around 200 millimeters to the overall length, but if it's ultra quiet you want, then it's worth the trade-off. Below this shrouded 450mm barrel is a high quality 360cc carbon fibre bottle on this sub 12, and that comes as standard, and this has a maximum fill working pressure of 300 bar, and it looks beautiful. The filler for this is situated at the neck and is a male Foster fitting nipple that simply needs a female Foster fitting off your bottle, tank, pump, compressor, whatever it would be, to fill. I do like a simple life. Then we move back to the main body, where there is so much happening. The first thing you notice are the digital gauges. The first is the filler gauge, the second is the regulator gauge. Both of these are very clear and easy to use. They are Kalibrgun branded items and they come supplied with the USB cable to be able to keep these charged. So no batteries requiring swapping out from time to time. Between these gauges is the power adjuster. Now then, this has been fully restricted in the sub 12 foot-pound version to prevent you from going over the UK legal limit. But you are able to turn this down if you wanted to. The bottom below this area is fitted with a Weaver Picatinny rail for the bipods or the like. But this is removable and then it reveals the Arca Swiss plate for use on more heavy weighted tripods. Now this is starting to appear on the better quality rifles these days, and I must say I personally welcome it. The photographers amongst you will recognise that this is the standard used by quality photography tripods, which all of my camera gear runs on Arca Swiss. Moving further back, we come to the adjustable trigger, which is a real pleasure to use, with a short first stage and a light, but not too light, second stage. After all the budget guns I've been using recently, this is a terrific thing to use, and sometimes you forget what a really nice trigger feels like. Above this is the safety, which is on both sides and can be used without taking your finger too far away from the trigger. Initially, I thought this was a little loose. We fed this back to Kalibrgun and this is now very defined and a pleasure to use. It's nice when a manufacturer listens. Above this is the straight pull cocking lever. Yes, a straight pull, which I believe is a first on an air rifle. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is short and very defined in action. It is smooth and an absolute pleasure to use. It's nice to see an alternative to the simple side lever so predominant on the rifles coming out at the moment. On the top there is a Weaver Picatinny rail, which is both adjustable and completely removable. If removed, it reveals a dovetail rail, giving you more options. To the rear is the adjustable buttstock, which again is very high quality and solid. It isn't sloppy at all and features a quick release sling hoop. The single point sling is also included in the box. The rear stock has an adjustable cheek riser to help you find that perfect scope to eye alignment. The rear is finished off with a nice broad rubberized buttstock. This has an AR-15 style grip which matches that tactical look that everyone seems to be going for these days. It is made of really high quality rubber and even has the removable bottom to keep such as a cleaning cloth or the like inside. There are two 15 round 177 all metal casing magazines in the box. These are a simple slide the front away and rotate the internal wheel anti-clockwise. Load the first pellet in or slug and then completely fill until all 15 rounds are loaded up. Then return the front metal cover and slot into the breech. Square part first. Now this can be done from either side. Just make sure you keep it pointing forwards. It also proves that this rifle is fully ambidextrous. The bolt, by the way, can also be swapped from right to left and left to right if preferred. The tactical style, of course, isn't everybody's choice, but it is very popular these days, and this design will most definitely find its followers. Let's take a look at the power levels, shall we? This is the 177 caliber version, as I've already stated, and using the increasingly popular 8.44 grain Barracuda 8 pellets, it saw 785 feet per second, which is 11.55 foot-pounds or 15.66 joules. Not content with that, I dropped some heavier 10.34 grains in, and the feet per second went to 715, which is 11.74 or 15.92 joules. So, no problems there. Time to bring out the big guns, so to speak, because this is the FAC version, which is enormous, with an overall length of just under 49 inches with the stock open. This 700mm barrel has got to give you a hint to the likely power output from this. So I dropped this over the chronograph first of all with some 15.89 grain pellets with a good idea what the outcome was likely to be. Wow, just as I thought. It could be heard 3 villages away, even with the huge QGS-8 silencer fitted. It was, of course, going supersonic at 1,242 feet per second, which is 54.44 foot-pounds or 73.81 joules. Time to get this shooting some heavier weight slugs on board. And with the 25.39 grain slugs, it saw 1,044 feet per second, which is 61.46 foot-pounds or 83.33 joules. And yes, that's from a 2.2 caliber, not 2.5 or 3.0. Now, I know someone is going to say that over 900 feet per second, it's going to be unstable. Well, if it were pellets, I would be inclined to agree with you, but not using slugs. The ballistic coefficient makes them quite happy at supersonic speeds. So if you really want power, this may be right up your street. I thought I would still try some 33.9 grain JSB beasts, and it saw 959 feet per second, which is 69.36 foot-pounds or 94.04 joules. That is just crazy. Nearly 70 foot-pounds from a 2.2 caliber air rifle, and a flatter trajectory than a fast 177 caliber rifle. So, as an FAC rifle, this is going to be more than capable of doing most whatever you want it to do. Time to get both of these out in the field and down the range to see how all this power and tech performs in the accuracy test. Kitted out with some beautiful Continental scopes on both of them. Let's take a look, shall we? The new Snipe. What can I say about it? It is very tactical looking. This has been not fabricated from another gun at all. This has been purpose built. It comes with digital gauges, it comes with adjustable power for the FAC market. It is a straight pull bolt. It's got to be a first, and if it isn't a first, then somebody's going to let me know. The magazine can be loaded in from either side, simplicity itself. This is the 177 sub 12, and in which case, obviously I'm going to be shooting out at 40 meters. I put a Continental scope on the top because they are gorgeous, and there are some new scopes coming out from Vectra. They will be at the British Shooting Show this year. Wow, I'm going to put some of those on some of these guns as well. There's so much happening, forgive me, get quite excited about it. This is a terrific gun. Now, normally tactical is not my style, but when they shoot as good as these shoot, I don't care what style it is, it's my style because they shoot beautifully. The tank on this one is I'm trying to remember because they do various sizes. This is the 360cc, so 0.36 of a litre. You're going to get loads and loads of shots. The shrouded barrel, and it is a shroud, the whole thing screws off. I want to try and show you, bear with me. This screws off. So you can see how much of it is silencer and how much of it is shroud. It is very, very good, but if you're not content with that, it's quite simple. There's a 1/2" UNF thread on the end of the shroud. The one that I've just unscrewed is not 1/2" UNF, so you can't put a silencer straight on the end of the bare barrel, but you can put it on the end of the shroud. So, beautiful gun, simple filler port, no problem at all, and yet again, they're going Arca Swiss. But on this particular one as well, which is on all of them, there is a standard Picatinny rail, Weaver rail on the underside that you then unscrew and you go straight onto the Arca Swiss plate. Choices. These companies are getting so good. The safety comes to finger, thumb, whichever you like, very easily. It's on dual side, straight through to fire. Adjustable stock, adjustable riser on the cheek piece. I just don't know. How many more choices do you want? So here we go. I'm going to shoot it out at, say, 40 meters. It is freezing cold today. The sun tries to come out and then just disappears again. But limited on time as I am, people will turn around and say, well, why don't you do it on a nicer day? I haven't got the time. We've got to get these things done. A couple of days ago it snowed. The ground is absolutely wet through and it's forecast bad weather again tomorrow. So we shoot it. As simple as that. 3-18 Continental on the top. I'm out of breath now. Excuse me. It'd be better if I was calmer. That straight pull is really nice. I think we're kind of getting the gist of that, aren't we? Before I start getting really cold and then it goes off and it's my fault. Put it on safe, nice and easy to do. I'm just going to go and get it. Let's have a quick look. Okay, we can forgive the one, that's going to be my fault. The rest of them, all pretty much touching. That is first time out. That has not been leaded in, it's not been toyed, fettled with. That is straight out the box, scope on, quick zero. And at this instance, I'm using QYS Streamlined, I'm out of breath. QYS Streamlined 8.48 grain pellets. It seems to like them. No doubt you could find pellets it prefers, I don't know. This particular one seems to quite like those at 8.48 grain. I don't think there's anything to complain about with that. Now then, the bit I'm really looking forward to is going to be the next bit, bringing the big guns out, because we've also got the FAC in 2.2 kicking out the best part of 70 foot-pounds. My goodness. Let's have a look at that one now, shall we? Nice gun. Time for the big guns. And when I say big guns, I mean big guns. I don't know if we can actually fit that in shot. That is enormous. Now the bottle on this is, I'm sure it's a 700, 700cc bottle. So you've got a huge amount of air if you need it. What I've also done as well is I've put a QGS-8 silencer on the end just to prove that you can then put another silencer on the end of the shroud, as long as that is. I think it's a 700mm barrel. I'm sure I said it in the main part. Again, everything else is just the same, adjustability all over the place. On this particular one, I've just put a Continental 4-24. Gorgeous. Very quickly and briefly zeroed it in, and I'm going to shoot it first of all at 40 meters, just so we've got a direct comparison. And then what I'll probably do is stretch it right down the bottom, which will be about 70 meters. But here we go. What I'm shooting at the moment is the the Knockout airgun slugs, the Mark II. Now these are weighing in 2.2 caliber at 25.39 grain. They're a meaty little thing, and so far, certainly in the zeroing of the scope, they seem to have coped quite nicely. It is shooting a different thing. You have got a kick. You're kicking 70 foot-pounds out of this. So let's give it a go, 40 metres to start with, and then we'll stretch it out, shall we? Oh, this is a bit of a beast. It really is a bit of a beast. Let's see if I can handle it. Straight away, it feels very different because you've got more weight and you've got more kick and power to it. You could keep doing this all day, you really could. Yeah. Forget it, if it's not going through the same hole, it's not the gun's fault. Undoubtedly, it is not the gun's fault. The gun is capable, really capable. Just occasionally something comes along, like the Epic that came along. Just go through the same hole, you know it's going to do it, and it will do it. And if it doesn't do it, it's your fault. This is exactly the same. It will do it. Right, now, I want to get this out at greater distance. I'm going to take it out to about 70 metres, and then I'm going to show you what happens if you put a standard 15.89 grain pellet into this. Watch your ears. More to follow, won't be a second. Oh, blimey, I can barely see it. I'm not entirely sure that that camera was actually running at the time to show you exactly what this can do out at that distance. So, just in case it didn't work, I'm going to try them again. That's what it did, and the one shot that was out, not touching, was my fault. But that's what it did. I'm going to see if I can replicate it or better it. You watch, I'll be all over the place now. But anyway, I know it can do it. Whether I can or not is an entirely different matter. Oops. And the sun is glaring off the target. That is just terrific. It's mind-blowing. I enjoyed every second of that. Both of these are really pleasurable things to shoot and use. I've shot an awful lot of tactical style rifles, some better than others. Some are just pretenders and standard rifles dressed up with some bits of tactical plastic gear. And I'm talking expensive ones at that. This is very much a purpose-made, designed from the ground up with this shape, style and action from the start. It has used high quality components and has innovative features all over it. The shroud comes silencer. It actually works on that barrel, and still they give you the thread on the end to give you more choices if you want them. The magazines work from either side of the gun. There is adjustability all over it. It's accurate and available in high power levels if you really, really want them. And of course your country or license will allow you. This is really well sorted. I'm going to stop waxing lyrical. Let's have a look at the price, shall we? Well, this in the UK is going to set you back £1,550. I never said it was going to be cheap, but it's certainly not as expensive as I expected it to be. And that is a lot less than its competitors that don't necessarily have the same level of spec, features or quality to them. Is it for everyone? Well, no. If you like your air guns in a military bullpup style, and for those who have this level of budget, you will be getting value for money and a hell of a rifle. I would anticipate this will be quite widely welcomed by the tactical fan-based shooters, and the more traditional style rifle fans will easily be able to appreciate it when they shoot it. Don't forget, of course, the exclusivity element to this rifle and the heritage of the cricket sibling that so many people rave over, swear by, and rightly so. That's it for me this week. A terrific pair of rifles, very capable, and I have genuinely really had great fun and enjoyed it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it too. Please click the old thumbs up, subscribe, share, and of course click the alarm notification bell. There is this little lot to join in with. Check out the AAR On Air website, and a big thank you to the guys at Vector Air who have these in stock currently and very kindly loaned not one but two for me to create this rather rushed, to be fair, review for you guys. Don't forget, you can see the Snipe at the British Shooting Show, and I will probably be on the range too, walking people through some of these amazing rifles. That's it from me. Hopefully we'll see some of you at the show. Really looking forward to it. Please stay safe and shoot safe. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Look at that. Well, can I fit it in the cap? Look at that. It's terrific. Fantastic.